This video is not meant for everyone. In fact, if you're watching this, you've probably already noticed it's hard to find real answers about women, about attraction, about power, about control. And here's the thing no one will say out loud. There are things women do not want you to know, not because they're evil, not because they're hiding something sinister, but because if you ever figured out this one truth, they'd lose control. And that terrifies them. This isn't about tricks. It's not about being alpha. It's about awakening the one trait that makes a woman feel powerless in front of a man and addicted to his presence. Today, I'll reveal this truth, piece by piece. And by the end, you won't see women or yourself the same way ever again. Part 1. Why she's drawn to some men without knowing why. Ever seen a woman chase a man who barely talks? A man who isn't the best looking, doesn't have money, yet she craves him? It's not chemistry. It's not type period. It's a reaction to something deeper, something unconscious. He's mastered one of the only things women can't fake or resist: presence. And no, I'm not talking about meditation or looking calm. I'm talking about the kind of stillness that makes her nervous, the kind of grounded energy that makes her fix her hair, adjust her posture, change her tone, because your silence has more weight than her words. Presence is the death of the average man, and the birth of the man she secretly hopes exists. Women don't want you to learn this, because the moment you stop chasing, she starts yearning. Part 2. Why talking less makes you more powerful. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you sat in silence and watched her fill it? Most men can't do it. They rush to impress, to joke, to prove. But the man who can stay silent and comfortable is a man who shifts the power dynamic without force. Here's the secret. When you talk less, she has to do more. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She tries harder to keep your attention. She senses your control. Now pause for a second and imagine what that does to her. Most women are used to being the ones observed. But when you become unreadable, they get thrown off. And that confusion, that emotional imbalance, that's the seed of obsession. You want her addicted to your energy. Don't give it away. Make her earn it. Part 3. Why your attention is her true drug. Here's what no dating coach will tell you. A woman doesn't need you to love her first. She needs you to notice her differently. Your attention, filtered through Stoicism, is a reward, not a reaction. That's why the men who are unbothered, who look at her like they've already seen her type, those men are magnetic. Why? Because he's not reaching. He's choosing. You ever seen how a cat acts when you ignore it? Now picture a woman with high self-esteem, used to being chased, suddenly facing a man who won't react to her tests. She spirals, and in that spiral, she starts craving the very attention you withhold. This is the moment in the video where most men will think, should I just ignore her? That's amateur. Because here comes the part women really don't want you to learn. Part 4. Why Stoic energy isn't cold. It's dangerous. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable. That's what makes it dangerous. Women don't want a man who feels nothing. They want a man who feels deeply, but is never ruled by it. Imagine a man who can look at chaos, heartbreak, betrayal, and instead of reacting, he just says, "Noted." That man becomes a mirror. She can't manipulate him. She can't seduce him out of his power. And worst of all, she starts respecting him more than the men who gave her everything. Because Stoicism isn't about detachment, it's about direction. You channel your energy inward. You respond with patience. You move with precision. And suddenly, she's following your lead. Part 5. The one move she can't counter. Now here it is, the part women don't want you to hear. The reason she tests you, the reason she pulls away, comes back, pushes again. It's not random, it's not cruel. It's a game she's played with every man, and most fall for it. But there's one move she can't counter. Indifference born from peace. Not fake indifference, not arrogance. I'm talking about the man who genuinely understands this. Whether she stays or goes, I remain whole. When she senses that you're at peace with or without her, that her affection doesn't complete you, that her validation is optional, not required, she breaks, because in that moment, you're no longer just a man. You're the standard she can't reach unless she levels up. That's what Stoicism is. You don't chase women, you attract respect. And the men who understand this, they don't need to shout it, they don't need to prove it. They walk quietly, and the world watches. Part 6. What happens when you suddenly pull back? You ever wonder why the moment you stop texting first, she starts lurking, liking your old photos, popping back in with that "Hey stranger" message? That's not a coincidence. That's a reaction. Because most men never pull back. Most men cling harder when they feel her slipping away. But not you. You'll feel the fear, but you won't chase. You'll feel the silence, but you won't speak first. You'll feel the urge, but you'll sit with it like a soldier in the rain. And when you do, something shifts. She realizes she lost emotional control. She pushed too far, and instead of clinging, you vanished into calm. This is the moment she reconsiders everything and wonders what kind of man you really are. Because in a world full of over-explainers, you became the question she can't answer. And curiosity, brother, that's the crack where desire gets in. She doesn't need you to explain yourself. She needs to wonder what's behind the silence. Part 7. The one trait that silently dominates any room. Women talk about confidence, about kindness, charisma, humility, humor. But you want to know what truly arouses a woman's deeper nature? It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's command. And I'm not talking about dominance like yelling or puffing your chest. I'm talking about the kind of command that walks into a room and doesn't need to prove itself. You walk with intent. You speak with weight. You listen more than you talk. And when you move, people get out of the way. This trait doesn't just turn heads, it changes behaviors. She adjusts her hair, fixes her posture, becomes aware of herself in a way she wasn't before. That's command. It doesn't ask, it doesn't beg, it expects. And women don't want you to know this. Because the moment you embody this trait, you're no longer the guy she can push around, test, or tame. You become the man she's scared to lose, but too intrigued to walk away from. Command is felt, not shown, and it's born the moment you stop needing her and start mastering you. So if you've made it this far, you already know you're not like most men. You're one of us. You value silence over noise, stillness over chaos, power over performance. And if this resonated with you, don't just watch this video, become it. Leave a comment with the word unreadable, so I know you're ready to stop being understood and start being remembered. And if you want more, subscribe, because the next video I drop, she'll wish you never found it. Stay still, stay stoic. Until next time.